Welcome to Dateline Schools, a presentation of the St. Clair County Regional Educational Service Agency, with your host, Chris Troy.
Port Huron High School has been known for its excellent music program via its Big Red Marching Machine. But what many people do not know is that there is a music program for students who wish to express themselves creatively in a different way with the guitar. Joining us today on Dateline Schools is Port Huron High School guitar teacher, Logan Raney. Logan, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Logan, give me a little bit of the background of the program and how long has it been around and what kind of students come to this? Are they usually musicians, band students, or are they a little bit of everybody?
Well, so the program's been around longer than I've been here. It was established a few years before I came, and when I got the job, it was originally for choir, guitar, and performing arts, and it was sort of all my fortes. It's all the things that I'm very much invested in, and the students that make up the classes are typically students that don't necessarily want to be in choir or in band, but who want to pursue music in their own avenues. So those are the students who primarily make up our guitar classes, but we do have students who are in those other classes as well.
Now, guitar class, are these students bringing their own guitars in, or does the school provide guitars for them, or how does that work?
So most students have their own instruments. However, we do have some guitars that we've gotten through grants through the Community Foundation that we are able to loan out to students if they need them.
Now, most of your students bring acoustics in, electrics, or is it a mix?
It's a good mix, yeah. It's definitely easier to accommodate with the acoustic guitars because they don't need to plug in around the room. But we do have students who are really attached to their electric guitars, and we make it work.
Joining me now is guitar student, junior Clair Voss. Claire, what made you want to take guitar?
Well, I've been playing piano for 10 years, and I saw that we had a guitar program. And I, of course, love Mr. Raney because I had him in choir when I was a freshman. So I decided, why not try guitar and see where it takes me?
Now, do you see yourself as want to be a campfire strummer or up on stage rocking?
I would definitely want to be up on stage. I'm a theater lover. I love to perform. I've been singing since I was little, so it would be a dream to be able to play guitar and sing for lots of people.
So you're playing guitar. What's your favorite kind of guitar?
I like my acoustic guitar, but I have played electric before.
And what kind is your acoustic?
I think it's a Jasmine. Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are nice. Those are nice. What's an influence for you? I mean, what are you listening to that you may want to sit down and try to learn songs from?
Well, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I enjoy pop music, but mostly piano is my favorite. But I try to take those chords that I can hear and then learn them on guitar and maybe change a song, like the way it's performed, to an acoustic version.
Claire, do you see yourself as a songwriter too? I mean, do you write your own songs, or are you not quite there yet?
I've always wanted to get into it, but I haven't really sat down yet. Sometimes I'll just play random things and make up stuff, but I haven't sat down and written down anything yet.
Well, sitting down making things up is where songs begin, so it sounds to me like you're on your way. Do you plan on continuing on with guitar next year?
Yes, I'll definitely take it my senior year and probably continue to play throughout college and the rest of my life.
Thanks a lot, Claire. Sitting down with me now is senior Nathan Warsella, who's part of the guitar class. Now, Nathan, what brought you into playing guitar?
Definitely my grandpa. I grew up listening to my grandpa play guitar all the time. And, I've always taken inspiration for that. I've always wanted to learn from him, but he knows more than I do. But being in this class definitely taught me more than he knows.
So do you ever sit down and have a little jam session with your grandpa?
Yes, all the time. And he says to me, he's like, I don't know how you know that. I just pick up a guitar and play. And I'm like, well, I thank Mr. Raney for that.
Nathan, what are some of your influences on the guitar?
Definitely Pink Floyd. I'm a big fan, big fan. And I take a lot of inspiration from their music and their play style. I listen to them all the time.
So I'm guessing right off the bat, you're thinking about a stage performance as opposed to just sitting around the campfire and strumming.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you have any other friends who play?
Yes, I've gotten my friend from my symphonic band class to join. They thought, they see me play my guitar and they're like, oh, that's cool. I want to be in the class. I'm like, well, join guitar.
Nathan, talk to me about your guitar. What have you got?
I have quite a bit of them. I have a Washburn 12-string. I have a Fender Strat. I have an Ibanez, I got a lap steel guitar.
So you're definitely an electric player. Do you ever mess around with an acoustic?
Yeah, definitely. I prefer sometimes.
Nathan, what do you see yourself after graduation? To continue to play, maybe start a band? What are you thinking?
I do see myself still playing guitar after school. Like a band, a bit skeptical about. I would like to, but it depends on what's going on.
Well, thanks a lot for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it. Joining us now is sophomore Jennifer Kloss. Jenna, what made you want to take up guitar?
Well, my dad had a friend who gave us his old guitar. It was like a really old guitar from the 80s, and it was just sitting around our house. And then one day I'm like, you know what, Dad? Teach me Smoke on the Water.
And from that point, you kind of picked it up. And once you started learning that, what brought you into guitar class?
Well, when I was in middle school, I started looking at like the old class selections, and I saw that there was a guitar class. So from like 8th grade, I'm like, I want to take guitar class.
Now, is guitar one of those things you think will stay with you kind of forever almost once you learn that skill? And what are your hopes to do with having the skills of playing guitar?
Yeah, definitely. It is something that stays with you for years. I'd like to eventually join a band and make music and whatnot.
Do you ever sit and write your own songs or kind of play around with that?
Yeah, I've written a few songs.
Who are some of your influences? I mean, who do you listen to and who do you try to mimic a little bit?
I'd say if you ask anyone in my family, Joan Jett is like way up there as one of my influences, and the Runaways, a lot of punk rocky type of stuff like Black Flag and Agnostic Front.
Awesome. Tell me about your guitar.
I have a few guitars. I have a red Fender Strat. I have a Fender Acoustic. I have a Dean. I have an Ibanez Iceman.
So does anybody else in your family play?
My dad plays the bass guitar, and I have an uncle that plays the guitar also.
Ever have little jam sessions with them?
Oh yeah, I'm in a band with my dad. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Tell me about your band.
So it's me, I play the guitar, my dad plays the bass, one of his friends plays drums, and then there's the guitarist and the singer that are friends with the drummer.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for being here today. I really appreciate it. Joining me again is Port Huron High School guitar instructor Logan Raney. So Logan, it's got to feel great to have a student come in as maybe a freshman and barely be able to put their fingers around the neck to by the time they're a senior being really proficient at the guitar.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to see is students who start to get really curious about their instrument. And you can see that they love going home and practicing. And I always encourage them to go home and learn stuff outside of what we're learning. Learn the songs that they love to listen to in general, and they fall in love with their instrument, and it just makes them a better guitar player in general. So seeing them kind of discover that passion for their instrument throughout the 4 years that they're here is a great thing to see.
So Logan, after the students do all this work and learn these songs, how do they show their skills to the public?
Yeah, so every semester we have at least one concert, and it's usually their final exam for each semester is their concert. So we put it on, and it's combined with the choir class as well. So we'll have a big concert, and it's got choir pieces, and it features all of our guitar songs and some small groups as well, even some solos. So we work on a variety of songs to play together as a class. And then we also have some students a little more advanced working in smaller groups on some more technically difficult songs as well.
Now, when you teach your class, do you have sheet music? So you're going to teach them notary, or are they learning by ear? Talk to me about that, how your students learn.
So we use a combination of learning by tablature, hybrid tablature, and learning by ear. So my biggest thing that I want my students to take away is that they can take this information home and use it to learn from resources from the internet and anything that they can use to better themselves in general.
Do you find you sometimes have students who come into this program who maybe don't fit in other programs around, or maybe not in the marching band or in the concert band, but really just individual artistic kids?
I remember when I was in school, there's always kids. Some of my closest friends were guitar students, but they weren't in a class. They didn't have an outlet in school for their art. So they weren't really a band kid, they weren't really a choir kid. And I see that a lot here where there's students who don't really fit into those kind of classes. They're not interested in making that kind of music, but they really love, playing independently or playing with a group of guitarists. It's really a special thing.
How many bands do you think form because of your class?
I know a couple of them. I wouldn't say maybe because of my class. I know a lot of kids are really interested in making their own music, especially with their friends. And I do hear of a lot of students playing together after they graduate.
If a student came to you and said, Mr. Raney, I've kind of created this own song, written this own song, is it something that they could maybe end up being in the concert with?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If it's got something that's got enough of a thing we could work with the rest of the students, it could absolutely be featured. Or I offer opportunities for students to audition to have like solos or small groups in the concert as well. So if the student works hard at it and it's something that they're proud of and we can feature, absolutely.
Well, I think it's awesome that you provide an outlet for some kids who really don't maybe fit in with other musical groups. There's nothing like playing a guitar. So I want to thank you for joining us today. For Dateline Schools, I'm Chris Troy. Dateline Schools is a presentation of St. Clair County RESA.